So should you ever fold ace king pre-flop? Because most players get this wrong, but what's interesting is I have some data behind this answer I'm going to give you in this update. Also want to say we have some interesting spots to go over, so what I want you guys to do is grab a bottle of water, some Gatorade, maybe some coffee, and sit back and kind of enjoy. I'm also going to say this one time, if you're not in our community yet, I don't know why you're not in it. That's going to be in the pinned comment. You could talk with me as well as some other high-level members. I've been playing now for literally like 2 decades. So I've kind of been through everything. And I think that, getting in a community, it's just, it can only help, right? Also, you guys could tap the like as we're getting in this, and let's do this. All right. We do have an ace-king situation, though, but we got some stuff coming up before that as well. And I definitely bluffed quite a bit in this one, as you move up and you start playing against better opponents, you do have to kind of like deviate from using just like one strategy. Like I always say, like GTO or ABC style. And you got to bluff, you got to keep yourself unpredictable and you have to make plays. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to see me make some plays, man. I'll tell you what. So yeah, but when we get to the ace king situation in this, I'll explain kind of the data behind this answer. And it'll be coming up pretty soon here. But all right. Anyways, folded the 9-8. Got a spot coming up here with an ace-10. I'm also gonna say, man, it's been a little choppy for me the last couple of weeks playing, a little bit up, a little bit down. It's kind of how it goes. You got to expect the variance. Typically, I will be, I usually play at least 3 times a week. Lately, it's been like 4 or 5 times. So I do, you know, sort of keep a schedule with this. It depends on what you're trying to get out of it. I just have, a passion for the game, which is why I'm always playing, right? Anyways. All right, we got some spades. We had a spade draw with the 9-8 off here and a 7 to the straight. Looks like nobody wants this one. Player 3 throwing a little 12 piece out there. I think he's probably going to take this down, if I had to guess. And he does. Okay. All right, on to the next one. I think this is probably queens. All right, very nice. Nice to get a nice pocket pair like this early on, right? All right, let's take a look at the table. Looks like everyone's not doing too good except player 5 is having a good one. Player 2 is starting to creep up a little bit. And, of course, we got nothing on that. Did you guys see that? Everybody folded to us. Like, what's going on, man? Come on, man. We had pocket queens. Nobody wanted to. Oh, it's frustrating. It is a little frustrating, man, but it does happen. It does happen with aces and kings too, and no one's playing. And I think you can kind of see it usually takes like 20 or 30 minutes of like sitting at a table, but like it looks like everyone's playing pretty tight for the most part here. So, it's just something to pick up on. All right, 6-9, just a muck here. Definitely not opening, even though we're on the button here. No, I'm just not going to play this. All right, this was our first interesting spot. We had a ace-10 suited. And, of course, I'm going to open this one up. Now, the nice thing about ace-10, when it's suited, it definitely is going to flop a lot better than an ace-10 offsuit. Same with ace-jack offsuit, even ace-king offsuit, when you got a suited ace here. All right, player 5, I believe, is just going to call this. Maybe he raised us. Let's see. I wouldn't mind a raise here, to be honest. Like, if he wants to, it's fine. But I think he just called, and he did. And, we're going to break this flop, but I'm still going to continue here. We do have a diamond out there, so we got some runner cards. We could also get a good card on the turn here for, like a straight, too. You know what I mean? Preferably a diamond, like a queen of diamonds or something would be good. And I kept this pretty small. It's just a small continuation. But I am going to barrel the turn most of the time here. And that is exactly what we were looking for. So not only do we have a flush draw now and a straight draw, we have a royal flush draw with the queen of diamonds, which would be something, right? So player 5 actually raised us here, which I thought was kind of weird. He kicked it up to the 76 piece. I didn't just call this. I actually wanted to and I made the play I made. To me, him doing this was kind of just trying to feel us out to see if we were strong or not. It didn't feel like he was super strong, like he has two pair or something like that. Like maybe he banked a king or something. Anyways, I made the play I made. He's gonna let the clock run down on this, and I mean, this is kind of something, right? I mean, I like this play though. I definitely like this play. I think the problem with calling just looks weak, right? If I just called him, and then we brick the river, what do I do? I think this play, I like this play, a lot more than just calling, if that makes sense. He's going to put some thought into this, quite a bit of thought, honestly. And he's gonna tank it all the way. We're gonna get to see we're gonna get to the river though, so, but he is gonna fold it. Let's see what the river would have been, and guess what? We banked it. So yeah, I mean, but if he called, he called. Whatever, he folded it. It is what it is. But I still like the play regardless. I just kind of going over it right now, like just calling there. I don't like just calling, because if we break that river, it just looks weak, and then we're in a tricky spot. You know what I mean? So the aggression worked out. We took it down, and that's kind of how we started things off. And we will have the ace king coming up here pretty soon, and I'll give you guys the data behind it when we get to it. All right, player 5 took that one down. All right, queen 3 suited in the big blind. This is very playable. If you look at a chart too, you are going to be calling with this, as long as there's nothing, too crazy. All right, back over to me. All right, we get to, take it to the flop here, just a check. I was thinking about raising it though. I think the problem is player 4 limped and he doesn't have much left, and it is what we missed the flop anyways. So now we're just in check fold. We do have a diamond out there, but I'm not going to get too excited about it because there's an ace out there. Like, this is just we're going to let this one go kind of thing. Anyways, could get some good turn cards though if we can get to the turn. I mean, like a 4, maybe like a 2 of diamonds or something like that. Got to imagine player 4 is going to go for it though, right? And he does. So he's probably got an ace. Maybe like an okay ace, but there's just no reason for us to continue here. We're just out of this one. So yeah, letting it go. All right, next hand, Jack 10 in the small. Player 4 limped again. Player 4, man, just limping it up. Limping it up. Player 5 limped too. And I guess we got to do the same, right? All right, so we missed this one. Another easy check fold for us, unless we get to the turn, which we might. I think player 5 is not going to let us get to the turn, so we are going to fold. Looks like nobody wants to, deal with this. See, player 4 folds it too. Turn card, would it have helped? Not really. We would have needed a queen. Kind of a miracle. All right, so yeah, here we go. Ace king. Now let's talk about this. So should you ever fold it? Here's the thing, right? And this is me. Like if you look at a chart, like a GTO chart, it says that you're never folding. However, I will say this. When ace king is suited, it cracks all the big hands. I mean, if you have ace king suited, for example, and somebody, has pocket aces against you, you actually can crack pocket aces with an ace king suited more than you would think. It's the same with pocket kings, even if you miss an ace on the flop. So here's what I'm saying. When you have ace king and it's offsuit, there are going to be times where, depending on whatever stake you're playing, and maybe you have a read on somebody, maybe you play a little bit more cautious. But when it's suited, you should have no fear. If ace king is suited, have no fear. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm getting at. So just keep that in mind. And it's when it's suited, okay? Pre-flop, unless you have some crazy read on somebody too, like if it's offsuit and you have a read on somebody, you know, then you think that maybe they do have aces or kings, then yeah. But when it's suited, what I'm saying is have no fear. Now this hand right here was absolutely something, right? Now we're blocking the straights, right? We're blocking those king tens. We have a king. There are going to be some hands we're losing to, you know, ace jack, ace queen or whatever, but at the same time, like, there's just no way I'm not just going to come over the top on player three. Now look at what player three has. Like, are you kidding me? Like, is this for real? He flopped it, so we need a 10. And look at this. Are you kidding me? We got it. I can't believe he had king 10. I was not putting him on that. If anything, it was more like an ace jack, ace queen, but like, you know, we still get hit a king or a turn going to the river, the turn and river. But I mean, I did not put that guy in king 10. I mean, we were also blocking king 10 with the ace king. We had a king, but whatever. Fortunately, we dodged that one and nothing else happened right there. So, you know, I'll take it. But, you know, kind of back to the, you know, should you ever fold ace king pre-flop? What I'm saying is when it's suited, never fold. But when it's offsuit and you have it's situational. If you have a read on somebody at the table, like they've been playing super tight or something, you know, it's different. Anyways, looks like player five just took that one down. And the other thing too, like I'm trying to say, like you can't approach this just from charts, right? You have to adapt to the table with the players you're playing with, right? You want to exploit opponents, but that's really what this is, and that's how I approach this. You learn all the different strategies and whatever, but at the end of the day, you're playing against other people. That's something you got to remember, right? Another reason you should get in our community because there's just so much more nuance to this. Okay, anyways, king 10, I think I am going to continue here with a little barrel, even though we have nothing. We could hit some turns, though, you know? I mean, okay, we did it. We did it the turn, so, you know, I think I'm going to go for it right here. All right, I kept it small. It felt like a pair of tens was probably good here. I don't know for sure, clearly. But, yeah, it was. So we'll take it. All right, on to the next one. All right, ace jack. Check this out. I was actually a little bit of a pickle here with this ace jack suited. Hope you guys are enjoying some of what you're seeing so far as well. But I was in a little bit of a pickle here. Okay, kind of back to the ace 10 we saw earlier. Like I said, when you have like ace jack or ace 10 and it's suited, it's so much easier to play, you know, and it's so much better as opposed to when it's not. Now, we got nothing here, but we do have, you know, a lot of good turn and river card possibilities. I mean, we could still hit some straights. We have the flush, which is still possible if a spade hits on the turn. So, like, the 10 of spades on the turn would be nice, right? Let's see what happens, though. All right, we got to the turn, and we did get the spade, which was very nice. I'm not going anywhere. Even if one of these guys puts something out there, we're still going to get to the river here, regardless. Hopefully get a spade. But if we, you know, bink like an ace or a jack, that could also be good here. You know, either one could still be good. And I checked here. I think player 6 is going to put something out there. Yeah, he's going to go for the 24 piece. We are going to call this clearly. I'm not going to raise it, though. Kind of wanted player 3 to make this call. Felt like maybe he would. He's thinking about it. Don't want to see a raise, but he got out of the way. So it's just me and player 6. And will we get it? We did not, but we did hit the ace, which is going to make it impossible for us to fold. Even if player 6 jams here, I can't get away from this. He went basically jam size. I'm going to call him down, and he's going to turn over pocket deuces, which I thought was hilarious. If we didn't hit the ace there, that might have worked. But I think player 6 didn't think it through, you know. But if we would have missed, like if we got nothing there, like a whatever, like a 3 or a 4, and we didn't get the flush, then that would have worked. It was unfortunate for player 6 that we hit that ace, and it is what it is. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So now things are starting to go pretty good here. I'm gonna call this Jack Deuce. You know, probably should have just folded this, but we're suited. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. We're suited, but I'm gonna instantly regret it because I think player 6 is gonna shove here, and I think one of these other guys shoved. So you know, clearly I couldn't call, but yeah, he raised it, so I had to fold. Even though I really wanted to call this, but we can't. All right, player 2 is going to turn over ace 10, and we would have hit the jack. And I think we would have ended up taking that one down too, which was unfortunate. But player 2, he made a good play. He got us out the way, you know, even though it was a little bit risky, I think, doing that. But he isolated, he took it down, and good for player 2, okay? Nice job, man. Nice job. You got us. Which is exactly why you should usually just fold those jack 2 suiteds, but couldn't help myself, man. I couldn't help it. Had to make the call, right? Okay, okay. All right, player 5, player 2. Definitely feels like if either one of these guys put something out there, they're taking it down. Looks like that's how it's going to go. Player 5 going for it. Okay. And yeah, I mean, we still got some good stuff to go over, so hope you guys are still here, but, you know, so far so good. So we're up a little bit again here, and we kind of got to, yeah, this was something right here. This bluff right here, I'm just going to say right now, this was just one of those bluffs where I was feeling it. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say. I was just feeling it here. All right, so I'm going to open on the button with a 7-8 off. And this was a spot where it's just me kind of just playing, just exploiting. It's just exploiting opponents who, if I feel like somebody's weak, I'm going to make a play on them. I'm not even going to think about it, okay? It's not even a thought. It's like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go for it. Excuse me. Anyways, this was just something right here. So I'm going to kick it up to the 1750 Ps, trying to make it look like I've got a big hand, even though, you know, the 7-8 off, you know. All right, so I think, yeah, player 5 might make this call. Let's see. No, he raised us. All right, he kicked it up to the 65 piece. And, you know, probably repping a good hand here. For sure. All right, so we got nothing here. But the good news is we could be up against a lot of those ace king, ace queen type of hands. Even like king queen suited might have made that play. You know what I mean? So I'm not necessarily ready to fold this, okay? I know that's probably like, you're probably like, what is this guy thinking? But I'm not. I'm actually gonna try to take this one down on the turn. He checked again. Now I'm not gonna put this guy in a jack, but check this out. We're gonna go for yeah, a 65 piece here. Don't really think the jack helped him. We're blocking the spade draw. So if a spade hit, I could technically be trying to like rep that. He called us pretty quick. River card was a queen. Not a good card. But I'm not gonna give up. I'm just gonna go for it. Just gonna rip it. Absolutely nothing here. I felt like he was weak. Don't really like the queen. But guess what? The play worked. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one. You know, like I said, get in the community. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.